Hello, my lovelies. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you, but I'm a gamer. Shocking, I know. Anywho, after a while, one starts to view other properties in a gaming light. Watching, viewing, playing. Then one starts to think, this universe needs its own RPG. So today we're going to look at the top 5 settings that deserve their own role-playing game. Number 5, Adventure Time. To me, this is fairly obvious. It has gaming humor and references as well as certain conventions baked right in. You have a post-apocalyptic world with bright colors, not your typical fare, and what's more is that anything fits. From dungeon crawling to space monsters to candy people to Abe Lincoln, ruler of Mars. It all works, and that is why Adventure Time should have its own RPG. Number 4, the Persona series. It's an RPG video game. It's not too much of a stretch. It's a world where your subconscious manifests as power and you use it to save the world. It's essentially an urban fantasy where the supernatural incurs into the conscious world, and the PCs have to solve the mysteries before them with a good deal of relationships and personal demons to deal with. I could easily see it appealing to the World of Darkness / Chronicles of Darkness fans. With the mystery and surreal imagery of different levels of reality creeping in, I'm surprised Monty Cook hasn't jumped on it yet. Just draw on the series as a whole to answer the wildcard question and you're set. Heck, maybe we'd get Philemon back. Number 3, Mass Effect. This one is a bit of a gimme, but if Dragon Age can get an RPG, why not Mass Effect? It seems to be begging for it, really. You got a rich setting with a few time periods to work with. The First Contact War, the Krogan Rebellions, and the Rachni War would be really interesting. On the other side, you could have a game set post-trilogy. You could collectively, as a group, decide the major events, creating your own personalized game that doesn't have to worry about canon. Then there are the internals. You already have the structure there, races, classes, etc. Just pick a die mechanic and you can have my gold. Not judging either way, but the setting has potential, and if you feel you can zig where Andromeda zagged, go for it. And maybe throw in a little Kevin Sorbo if you do. Wink. Number 2, Steven Universe. No, just hear me out. It all depends on how you approach it. You could focus on the gems. It would be one's first instinct, and there are stories and characters to play there. You could play a crystal gem back during the war, or in the more current times you could play homeworld gems against other homeworld gems. Different factions or groups under different diamonds, trying to garner favor and prestige. Alternately, you could campaign as a different group of dissidents or off-color gems. However, you could come from the other direction, namely, humans. There are characters and stories to be told from their perspective as well. Are you a person who was attacked by a corrupted gem and wants to know what's going on? Did you discover gem tech and want to know where it came from? Or maybe you come from a long line of gem hunters armed with ancient weapons and would love a homeworld invasion, getting the chance to hunt a greater opponent than the corrupted gems that plague the world. The world as presented in Steven Universe presents many options if you're willing to separate from the main cast. And now some honorable mentions. Technically, but it was terrible and very short-lived. Besides, this is my list. I can do what I want. I have the power! My number 1 setting that deserves its own role-playing game is Ruby! It's a vibrant and engaging world with everything one could want. A vast world, regular and irregular enemies, mysteries, and conspiracies. It has a few video games attached to it, so going further into an RPG seems natural to me. In story, you already have the structures needed to facilitate an adventuring population in the form of the Huntsman Academies. Between all the unexplored territories and the remnants, of past civilizations taken down by the Grimm, there's a lot to explore, and the social structures of the kingdoms are rife with story potential. Possible campaign ideas could cover the Great War and the end of the monarchies. Maybe some old power players in Mantle are conspiring to ruin Atlas City and make Mantle the capital of the nation again. Or maybe the island of Menagerie decides to try and establish its own Huntsman Academy with all the resistance and sabotage that would come with it. So between how the world of Ruby is built, its own unique flavor of magic in the form of dust and people's soul auras, and its story potential, it is my number 1 choice for a setting that deserves its own role-playing game. Those have been my picks. I hope you enjoyed. And if there are any settings from TV shows, games, or what have you that you think deserve their own RPG setting, just let me know in the comments or on the Hamlet's Facebook page. So, until next time, fare thee well, my lovelies.